So coming off the tail end of Spider-Man No Way Home back in December, Tom Rothman was asked if we could potentially see Zendaya and Jacob Batalon returning in their respective roles of MJ and Ned Leeds, and director Jon Watts back in the chair. I wasn't too excited to actually hear that Zendaya and all these other people were coming back because I thought we kind of ended things off perfectly with No Way Home. Bringing in all the past villains, all of Spider-Man's greatest road. With that kind of impact, it's hard to predict what they could possibly do next. Long-running characters like James Bond have managed to stay popular for so long because they introduced new characters throughout every installment. Every Spider-Man trilogy or duology has stuck with the same characters from there on out, only introducing new villains at a time. I think it's important that we step away from characters like Zendaya's MJ and Jacob Batalon's Ned Leeds. I don't think Ned and Zendaya are good characters. Ned actually showed some potential back in Homecoming when he shared some serious lines with Tom Holland. He managed to just become comic relief. MJ in the comics is the party girl, but she ends up being more than that. Her name's not even Mary Jane. It's Michelle Jones Watson. I think it's time to bring in characters like Black Cat, Silver Sable. We could get Ben Reilly as Scarlet Spider, and even Cindy Moon as Silk. All of this has the potential to breathe new life into the Spider-Man franchise and keep people interested. With the symbiote suit teased at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, it's safe to say that they're going to be exploring the symbiote saga once again. Stop wasting big characters on solo movies. Venom, Morbius, I wasn't a big fan. I liked Venom Let There Be Carnage. One thing that could have really elevated the movies would have been the inclusion of Spider-Man in the story. I think if they could bring the symbiote suit back and do it right, and everything we saw there wasn't exactly comic accurate. We got the symbiote, a villain we've never seen before, and a dark, compelling story to audiences. Even at the end, we could have the Fantastic Four come in and finally tell Peter Parker that his suit is alive and it's eating him up. And with the tease of Charlie Cox's Matthew Murdock in the last movie, it's the perfect time to bring in Daredevil and have him team up with Spider-Man. Then we could include Kingpin, he of which we've never seen Spider-Man fight before. It'd be a fucking fangasm. A character that they're going to be wasting a solo movie on instead of including in a Spider-Man movie is Madam Web. They've already explored the multiverse to an extent, but Madam Web could come in and she could introduce him to even more Spider-Men that aren't Peter Parker. With the inclusion of John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic and whoever else they might cast in the Fantastic Four, little do some people know, one of Spider-Man's best friends in the comics is actually the Human Torch. You cast a good actor that can really bounce off of Tom Holland, and you got yourself a great dynamic that'll please the audience and the comic book fans. And I think it'd be really cool now that Marvel has the rights to film Spider-Man and have full rights to Wolverine, to have them go back and forth and argue and just have them comedically play off of each other. Another one that might surprise everybody is the Hulk. And I'm not talking Mark Ruffalo's Professor Hulk, I'm talking full-on Savage Hulk. Like Hulk from Thor Ragnarok Hulk. It'll shed some much needed light into what could potentially be some dark stories for Spider-Man. My next suggestion, don't make any more Spider-Man movies. Spider-Man becomes a side character in other movies. We got the Fantastic Four coming out. In the sequel, you have him come in and you go Future Foundation with them. It's been confirmed that Daredevil's getting his own Disney Plus show. People would freak out if they had Spider-Man come in as a regular. I think if we give the fans what they want, go back and do Spider-Man 4, or even do Spider-Man 3, it will allow us to come back feeling a little bit more refreshed. Tom Holland shouldn't play Spider-Man forever. Maybe someone else should come in and take up the role. I mean that they should bring in Spider-Man Miles Morales, maybe Jessica Drew as Spider-Woman, or even Mayday Parker as Peter Parker's daughter, Spider-Girl. If Sony wants to continue making these Spider-Man movies based off of the Spider-Man IP, then I think they should really start taking advantage of the source material. You have series like Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Man 2099, leave the villains to Spider-Man movies and focus solely on spin-off stories that don't take place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That way, just like the comics, we don't have to worry about continuity errors. Guys, drop your thoughts in the comments about what you want to see in the next Spider-Man movie, and let's get this in front of Sony's face so that they can make us a good one. I could be a real fucking dork and I could just go like, yeah, no, I'd never get laid again. I'll delete your fucking